So the question is, which muscle is being injected by botulinum? The options are masseter, buccinator, lateral pterygoid, and temporalis. All the four are muscles of mastication, and all these muscles have their origin from somewhere which is there in the midface or the cranium, and their insertion is in some part of the mandible. Now, depending upon their insertion, we have to visualize, because the insertion as well as the origin is an internal aspect, and as we know, the entire body is covered by skin. So it is very difficult to identify or to visualize where the particular muscle could originate and insert into, especially when it comes to extraoral findings. So what we do is, we have to visualize and we have to know the entire anatomy of the muscles and where could they possibly originate from and or insert into from an external aspect. Over here, if you see, there is a needle that is being injected in the area in front of the ear. Now, as we know, when it comes to the muscle in front of the ear, that means we're talking about the TMJ, because the TMJ is located right in front of the external acoustic meatus. So the only muscle which gets its insertion into the TMJ is the lateral pterygoid, and that is why the answer over here would be lateral pterygoid. Now looking at the images, this is the masseter muscle. It takes its origin from the zygomatic arch and the zygomatic bone, and it is inserted into the lateral aspect of the ramus of the mandible. Whereas the temporalis, it takes its origin from the temporal bone and it goes internally. That means it goes internal to the zygomatic arch, and it gets attached onto the coronoid process, not into the TMJ, but the coronoid process of the mandible. The medial pterygoid, on the other hand, it takes its origin from the sphenoid bone, and it is inserted into the medial aspect of the ramus of the mandible. So if you can see, all these bones, all these muscles are originated from some part of the skull or the middle face, and it is inserted onto the body or the some part of the mandible. Whereas when it comes to the lateral pterygoid muscle, again it takes origin from the sphenoid bone and it is inserted right into the TMJ. And that is the reason over here, when we have to visualize the place where it could be originating from and inserted into. So since in the image over here we can see that it is somewhere in front of the ear, that means it is the TMJ, and the TMJ is usually associated with the lateral pterygoid muscle, and that is why the answer over here is that. How do we identify the lateral pterygoid muscle? Is one of the most easiest methods is by intraoral palpation of the muscle. So when you place your finger and you have to go posteriorly and internally, you will be able to palpate the muscle, as you can see in the image over here. So you use your the digit of your finger, and you keep going posteriorly and you can palpate the muscle. Now, when it comes to the botulinum toxin, one of the main reasons why this toxin is injected into the TMJ is because people who have chronic dislocations due to muscle hyperactivity. That means there is a muscle, the lateral pterygoid, it is continuously contracting and there is excessive contraction, and because of that, the TMJ is getting dislocated anteriorly. Because of that, the patient will have chronic subluxation as well as continuous pain, and this can lead to a plethora of events which are not favorable. And that is the reason botulinum toxin, as we all know, it is produced by Clostridium botulinum, and it inhibits the release of acetylcholine. Now, acetylcholine is what is necessary for muscle contraction. Since acetylcholine is going to be blocked, the muscle is able to relax and the patient will not have severe dislocation because the muscle has been relaxed and there is no contraction of the muscles that is taking place. One more important thing that we need to remember about this phenomenon is that one more important uh, is that the botulinum toxin has to be injected into the lateral pterygoid only. It cannot be injected into the temporalis or into the masseter muscle. Continuous injection of the botulinum toxin into the masseter or the temporalis will still lead to contraction of the lateral pterygoid muscle. Now, this phenomenon is called as whack-a-mole phenomenon, wherein there is a severe contraction of the lateral pterygoid muscle due to deposition of the botulinum toxin into the temporalis or the masseter muscle.